Yo, what's happening? So, I hope y'all all doing well. Let's talk about it real quick. And why do I do this? God broke every commandment. Changed my mind. This took some time and consideration, so please indulge me. Killing. That's a little too easy. I'm not even finna get in all that. Stealing. Take everything they own, as was written in the Holy Bible, and was written to kill it, right? Samuel and too many scriptures to count. Then take their lands as reward, or as David was told, take 200 foreskins off of men, right? Bear false witness. Had many people lie between Abraham and the handmaidens in Egypt and many other places. And witnessed Abraham lie amongst many men and gave riches afterwards. Committed adultery, told many men to grab wives and spoils against women's will, have a law to make a woman marry a man's brother, and raise his house while taking her as a woman. But in the New Testament, I came not to change the law, but to fulfill. Also, any man who touches another woman suffers her to commit adultery. Or as was written, it's better for a man to pluck his eye out than to even look at a woman. And also twofold committed adultery by making Moses and Jesus gods and many prophets on earth to worship them when it's written, I am he and only he, and the husband in the Old Testament, and gave graven images of himself by making men gods to be followed. And I really don't care if Muslims agree with me or not, but they worship Muhammad. That's their God. They will murk you over there if you make an image of him, or to be followed in any situation, because if we're all made in the image of God, then we are to worship nothing ever. Adam wasn't told to worship nothing in the garden, but he also had no common sense or intellect or anything. So continue down the narcissist hole. Coveted after other nations' gods and constantly what they was doing and knew everything about what they was doing, right? And what the people were doing with them. Constantly trying to change the will of other beings with free will and then taking spoils in war or putting them into his temple or destroying it. Destruction of property. So, how can I put this? How can we not covet when the one telling us to do things is coveting? Rest on the seventh day. I'm not finna get in all that. And y'all should take a day off. That goes for corporations. People need days off. Honor thy parents. How can I honor people told to stone me to death for questioning fallible buffoonery disguised by the Pope as holy guacamole who used to murder all throughout the Middle Ages? Poison ivy he will soon rash with, and the minions that follow him. And Trump, bro, that nigga, man. If you follow Trump, you okay, buddy. We'll get your applesauce soon. And Ham, who is the great uncle of many men enslaved and told to do so. Africa and America and South America and India so disrespected by the humans and still to this day enslaved by these savages cloaked as holy men. Which parents do these people honor? And which African people have been freed? The very ones who taught humanity and began civilization. Right? So if they was to say people who kill, steal, and destroy is the devil, because that's what it's written, and then the very people who use this book to enslave people, then if I was to say a certain faction was the devil, that's not racism. That's written in a book. But y'all like to cosplay, so I'm finna turn it around real quick and holler at y'all. Hello, everybody. This won't take long. I just wanted to rap to y'all real quick in my song. So, I I came across a Satanist probably about 2-3 years ago, but I think he was an atheist or something like that. You know, somebody that was obviously affected by Christianity, and so now he's like anti-Christian. And I definitely understand why many people are like that. But one time he was writing Satan's 10 Commands or whatever when he was back in the Old Testament. And I think I wrote in a poem and told him, you don't have to change the name of the commands. It is what it is. And the motherfucker that wrote them motherfuckers is just as corrupt as anybody else. And I think that's what I try to exemplify in any of these videos that I show y'all. That nobody's perfect. And a lot of times because of programming before we are aware, shout out John Core Books, we end up hating things we have no idea about. We end up hating people that we don't know, because I call it programming. Bruce Lee said something crazy smart one time. He said it's like spelling, because it literally is. It'll cast a spell on you if you're not aware and allow things to affect you a certain way. Just like everybody's talking about the Louisiana, blah blah blah, voting rights and all this. You guys are fighting with people that if anybody took their rights, they would go insane. Stop. I see a lot of people debunking Christianity and all that stuff as usual and acting a fool cool. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, as I told y'all, people gonna do what they do, so ain't no point. But Dan said something real smart a long time ago. He was like, what if the 10 Commands were from the devil? And I thought about it and I was like, well, shit. If you really look at a timeline of things, Moses was Pharaoh. And he would be doing nothing more than simplifying the 42 laws of Mu'at, which is more code and law that people was probably killed for if they didn't follow. Honestly, a pill people not ready to swallow yet, and I don't think it's sufficient to teach people this anyway. This is for the extreme people who are caught and like hell, and all that other stuff. Why would then a narcissist send a son or a child to murk themselves to then exemplify forgiveness and mercy all the time? Because in the future, when we become aware enough, we're going to fry his ass for all the shit that was done. You see what I'm saying? But then that doesn't make sense. It's a character in a book. It's the Pope, it's the Protestants, the Catholics, these big religious institutions that selling mind enslaving y'all. The Dead Sea Scrolls and the ancient Torahs. Y'all don't have no Dead Sea Scrolls or ancient Torahs. The Codex Sinaiticus is a book from the Vatican. They wrote Mark's books and Luke's and y'all are playing in y'all ass. And I'm trying to wake y'all up. There was no Mark or Luke or none of that. Man, and in history, the Romans eradicated is whatever them people were called, like anybody else. Like y'all watch a billion nations and a billion peoples get eradicated in that book. Then because one text says, you're my son and I'm gonna, do you not know? Think about what I'm telling y'all. I have a special reward for Israel. Israel is my only seed, my nation, who I will flourish. Then constantly, as foreshadowing, I'm going to destroy Israel, I'm going to destroy Israel, I'm going to remove my vine, I'm going to destroy Israel, I'm going to destroy Israel. Then the very firstborn that's born, that is all full Israel, is sacrificed. Then everybody after him is sacrificed in that book. I'm trying to tell you all, Israel is, Jesus is a foreshadowing of Israel. And if anybody can hear what I'm saying, by nature, people, because of that book and this religion, are going to want to destroy Jewish people because of the seed of Abrahamic religions. How can Abraham, take your son to this place? No, spare him. I got another surprise for somebody else in the future. Israel steals a blessing from somebody who God hates. Think about what I'm telling y'all. I've said this in many videos. Christianity is anti-Jewish, not anti-Christ. And Judaism is anti-other people. Read them 613 laws, and I'm telling y'all will be... I hope y'all can figure it out soon and awaken. Because the world is creating a tornado right now, and all who dwell within who I am, not the person, all who trust in me will understand in the end and will understand their surroundings. Good luck.